Hey, welcome back. So, came back over here to start on the transmission again. There's a lot going on there, but hopefully start pulling some gears and kind of getting an idea for how everything works. I mean, this is again my first transmission like teardown. I'm not changing gears or anything like I said before. We're just changing the differential, but hopefully that will be something that we could just kind of pull everything out the way, stack it real neat, and then put it all back the way it's supposed to go. So for those just tuning into my channel or just starting at this episode, reason we went and pulled the bell housing off of this transmission is because of these let me see where they are. This differential was breaking teeth. As I explained in the last episode, there was like a sand sound. It sounded like there was like sand rolling around in my transmission. So before anything could really break, or before I could feel it in the drivability of the car, I parked it a little over a year ago, and I was using this transmission on the most recent block, the one that had the rod knock. So this guy's been sitting for a while, but I still think it's salvageable. There was a lot of chunks of metal that came off of the magnet over here. So we know that the damage was done, but just gonna kind of be inspecting other gears and stuff as I'm working and pulling the stuff apart to just make sure that those gears are okay. Like I said, shifting I never had a problem. I didn't have any problems. It was just this differential. I could, you could just hear it when the car was rolling. You could hear the pieces in there moving around. So where are we right now? So right now we're gonna start pulling our main shaft and counter shaft so we can get to the differential. As you can see, it overlaps, so you can't get this out without pulling these guys. So these bolts here, and down in here are the ones that hold the shift fork assemblies. See these 3 shift fork assemblies together, and hopefully the plan is to unbolt those and then pull everything up out in the same order that it's in, so that we don't have to to lose any parts or anything come apart. So yeah, as non-intrusive as possible. After I pulled the differential out, right, I started noticing there's more little metal chunks in there. So there's two different kinds of metal chunks here, believe it or not. They're not the same. One of them is the differential, and the other one is the actual transmission housing. Not good. How did I figure that out? Well, obviously, looking at these broken and scarred regions here, you can see, yeah, there's definitely some banging around in here. Oh, geez, didn't even see that. That's a huge chunk. But yeah, I realized it when I was using my magnet, because as you see, with the aluminum, magnet doesn't stick, right? However, with the steel from the differential, it does stick. So I don't know. We'll see, man. Gotta ask around now. I notice is my differentials are actually different. One, as you see this, the bearing on this one is just like a, in skateboarder terms, it's like a skate bearing. And then there's the other has this type of bearing. So I'm gotta kind of ask about that too. See if the two different differentials are compatible, or like if it's possible for me to interchange those. Now with the main shaft and counter shaft out, I was able to take notice of some pretty beaten up teeth on the final drive gear. So that's toast. What up? So it's been a few days since I've worked on anything related to the Integra. Just kind of been slow. Has some family stuff going on. But I've also been working just as my my shop, and taking care of a few people around me. Jobs have been flowing in, so that's a good thing. It's income, and the name's getting around. A lot of word of mouth, so that's a plus. Right now, just working on I got a Nissan Sentra of a friend's, and they've got a for sure axle that needs to be replaced. It's the boot's torn and it's already clicking and everything, so it's ready to go. And they have a starter issue that I'm trying to diagnose. So I just thought I'd film a little bit of that. I don't know, maybe you can hear it on camera. Okay, so she said that it was when you start it, you can hear a scraping noise. And I hear the scraping noise. She said you usually have to start it twice in order to actually get the car to start, but it started over just fine for me. Not a bad looking bay at all. This is a 97. Looks way better than mine. Way better than my Integra's bay. Well, let's see, the sound is coming from down in here. So I'm gonna try to position my camera and see if I can catch the noise. Okay, so I know that that's the starter down there, just under the intake manifold, but of course it didn't even want to make the sound when I was finally recording it. But I think what I'm going to do for her is just go ahead and pull the starter off, and just check the operation of it. I mean, worst case scenario, just replace the starter. I'm sure that sound will go away. But she's claiming that when you start the car, it makes that grinding sound that you heard while we were in the car. And then that sound, you would have to start it twice. So you would start it, you'd hear the grinding, it wouldn't start, and then you would do it again, it would grind, and then the car would turn over. But I'm not hearing that, so or I wasn't having the issue where I had to start it twice. So yeah, maybe I'll just let her know what I've got so far, and give her a quote for parts and labor for the axle, and then possibly parts and labor to replace the starter. Another day in the life of Gestalt Garage, man. So I got started on the axle for the Sentra. Just want to sort of show you guys what to do for anybody that's interested or has a Sentra, or actually this applies to a lot of different Nissan models around this time. But yeah, this is the process. I mean, so far looks pretty simple. It's very similar to how Hondas come apart, so hopefully somebody can use this. So I already took the wheel off, pulled the axle nut off, which if you've never done it before, same way you do the lug nuts, you just pull your lug nuts off, or loosen your lug nuts before you lift the car. Pull your cotter pin out, and then loosen this guy. It was a 32mm on this car. This is a 97 Nissan Sentra. So yeah, pull the cotter pin, loosen the axle nut, then lift the car. Once you got to support it on jack stands, right, not on a jack, then you just pull that. Obviously your lug nuts, pull the whole wheel off, and there's probably a couple different ways to do it. I thought the easiest way was going to be, so I pulled the cotter pin for this castle nut on the tie rod end, and these two guys up here, right here. I'm gonna try and tilt it forward because I really didn't want to mess with these ones. I really hate having to deal with those in there, so we're just gonna try it that way. So like I said, it's very similar to how Honda has their suspension setup. So this does kind of apply the same way. If you've never dealt with castle nuts, and you know, trying to get the weight off like these tie rod ends, or on the bottom end these guys, the thing that I was taught, man, and I still use it this day, is you pull the nut, you know, get it pretty much to the top of the threads, whether it's top mount or bottom mount. Get it to the top of the threads, and then what you do is you crack the boss right here. Just hit it, good dead blow hammer. It's only like a 2-pounder. You just give it a couple of good whacks, and once you do, this will be free. So if you're having that problem where you've pulled the nut off and then the tie rod doesn't want to come out, just again loosen it to about bottom of the threads to give it room to travel, and then crack it with a good sized mallet, and eventually it'll pop free of all that tension. And there you have it, man. Literally 3 suspension bolts, and the axle's ready to come out. It's already pulled out of the hub, and as you can see back in here, it's just got to come out of the transmission. That's it. Pretty dope, man. I love simple jobs like this. Also, don't forget this washer. It sits on the outside of the hub before the axle nut. So yeah, if you lose that, make sure you get that get a replacement or whatever. But yeah, make sure you put that back. Don't overlook that. Okay, pop the axle loose. I came underneath the car. Honestly, this thing didn't give me a fight at all. I just literally stuck this pry bar in there, right here, and I tapped the butt end of it with my fist, just the side of the back of my fist, and it eventually popped loose. I didn't even need a hammer, so that was nice, and it was in there snug too. I tried another tool with a hammer, and it just wasn't giving me what I needed, and I literally just put pry bar in there, and just pounded it with my fist a few times. It popped right out, so it was in there snug. It's just just nice and simple. So this is old axle out, new axle's going in. Just got to tap it back in. It's in place. Just be prepared also, by the way, this is an automatic transmission, so be prepared to just catch some fluid coming out. When I was researching the job, it said about 2 quarts. I didn't
quite. I definitely didn't lose 2 quarts. I don't think. So, but just have it on hand in case. You know, you can always take it back. But yep, new axle going in, and then we'll just be buttoning everything back up.
9.
Got him.
9. Oh, it's very.
So that's not real German, by
It's
the way.
very real German. That's crazy talk.
Oh my
Nobody's
gosh.
talking to me.
So
Somebody talk.
axle's done and in.
This guy yet again.
That's Aurora, right?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Axle's done and it's in. Just about to drop the car down now. And just make sure we don't have any funny noises.
80015.
Hey, so it's day 2 of Sentra work, and the owner has expressed that she wants to replace the other axle as well. So we're gonna go ahead and take care of the other axle. I mean, again, it is a 20-plus-year-old car. Also going to replace the vehicle speed sensor for her, VSS, and take a look at her starter. So there's more work to be done. Me and Zay's gonna be with me today. And yeah, so we can get this car back in the owner's hands. So out with the old, in with the new. New axle is in. If I can show you all up in there, but yeah, it's flush. This is the old axle here. And she was just replacing that one as a precaution. So didn't absolutely need it, but why not? It's a good practice to just get new stuff. Pretty sure the car's new to her too, but it's got low miles, so should be a runner for a while. All right, so we are minus a vehicle speed sensor. Online it said that AutoZone had one, but they didn't, so they ordered one and they're gonna have it in tomorrow. So I'll be doing her VSS tomorrow, and see if I can get a good peg on this starter and see what the issue is with that. I'm back again with the Sentra, and just gonna do some front brake work on it. Pads, rotors, just basic stuff, so I'm not even gonna film any of that. I know you guys know how to do pads and rotors, right? If not, you can always ask me questions. I'll be more than happy to help out anybody who doesn't. But yeah, so unfortunately still didn't get to do much with this or that. Sorry guys, it's just had a lot going on, but we'll get back to it soon. Both the other transmission needs to be torn down, but I mean, this is the stuff that pays, so that I can be able to afford parts. But yeah, hopefully here in the next video, I mean, I apologize, I wanted to do, you know, more of the cool stuff for you guys, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Just got a little bit of a season to get through first, and then hopefully, you know, once some of these parts start coming in for the motor build, start assembling stuff. And then there's still other things to be done with the chassis. I want to get it to the car wash. I'll probably throw it up on a trailer, take it to the car wash, and hose down all the gross stuff. The other thing is, I could use new coilovers, all things like that. So as that stuff comes in, I'll film that. You know, we'll just get the chassis where it needs to be. That way, when parts like the GSR head and the ECU start coming along, then we can start assembling, and the car will be ready by the time the motor's ready, I'm hoping. So stay tuned. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Yeah, I'm recording. Unless you want to be rudely introduced. These are 2 clowns that are disturbing my recording session right now.
Time them have ever been on camera.
This is let me introduce you to this is my cousin Leon.
Hello.
Say what up to the world, Leon.
What up?
Welcome to the channel. I'll put his name somewhere around his head.
Why would you tell him
around
you
his
gotta
head.
put it there with the thing?
It'll go right
What? John?
right there.
John, you're an idiot. Okay?